The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Hello, I'm John Holler.
And I'm Kathryn Holler. And we're here.
This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
Excellent.
Great start.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Compared to the lead up, that was stellar. You guys are great.
that was the tip of the iceberg. The folks aren't seeing what all went on behind that.
I got
what
sweat.
took what it took building up to that moment.
Or will the folks see it? I see we're being video recorded as well.
I don't think that was all recorded.
Oh.
So just in our
no,
our
they had to
memories.
hook up. It wasn't all recorded, of course, because they had to hook up the recording devices.
Yeah.
that was part of it.
Yeah. That's that would be the next addition to have
Yeah.
the stand up. The
Where it's already
the meta camera.
yeah.
The pre-show.
Hey, what are we doing?
We got some security cameras in here. We can use that footage.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. All right. As you can hear behind me, producer Perry back in the house after about 100 episodes. TD Mike is back after our hiatus.
Yep.
Kate was at our last episode forever ago, and she's back with the camera. And John and Kathryn Holler here at Holler Brewing.
You forgot someone.
Yeah.
Henry.
Fluffy over there.
Henry.
Oh.
I almost called him Hank, but that's like a
Same thing. It's the same thing.
Hank. Hank Hill.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Henry the Shih Tzu.
Oh.
He's slight underbite, but adorable. Oh, and I'm Josh, your host. Welcome back to InterBrews.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you for having us.
This is so exciting, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a little intimidating because
Yeah.
it's been a long time. I think
Yeah.
it's been like 6 months. I think it might even, it was last year.
This is like when Michael Jordan came back, man. And it went pretty well for him the first time he came back.
Yeah.
We want it to be like that.
Okay,
not
so
not when he came back for the
Washington?
Washington
I just
Wizards.
point a lot and yell at people that are younger than me, like, what are you should do
Yeah.
better.
There'll be a time for that.
Yeah.
That'll be the next time you
That-
go on hiatus,
Yeah.
disappear,
The next
and then you come back.
group of the next InterBrews host when I pass the torch to whomever.
Yeah.
One of your daughters?
Yeah, one, maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
They don't know anything about beer.
Are they competing to be the next
Yeah,
host to take
they're all
over the
saying,
family
I don't want it.
biz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's dad gonna make do that? I don't know.
Oh.
We'll see. They like beer fine for 14 and 12-year-olds.
The 12-year-olds are twins, right?
Yes.
That would be cool, like the beer twins or something.
Yeah.
InterBrews twins.
Yeah, and
InterBrews
they-
double brews.
And they look nothing alike. So, and their personalities are 180, but they play off each other great.
That's
since the
great.
womb.
Yeah.
They were womb mates, and then just started to act there and kept going.
Yep.
Like they were like, you look at the ultrasounds and like, boy, what? Doing that whole shtick.
taunting each other.
Yeah, and they keep doing it. How are your kiddos, the family? Everybody's great, right? I
Yeah,
hope?
they're good.
Yeah?
I have to dip out pretty soon because I have to go pick them up.
Yeah, I apologize for. I should have.
it's okay.
When I said earlier, in my mind, I thought I'm going to get here like 2 hours early.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, like the beginning of that movie where they walk onto the mound and like feel the dirt in their hand and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
I was
like
gonna do that.
Gladiator.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
You did that though. I saw you
Kinda
doing that,
soak it in.
sniffing the dirt out on the asphalt.
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, it doesn't smell that great. Turns out I don't know what Russell Crowe saw in it, but
You tried.
he
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get any power from it. When I came in and smelled hops and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, that's where I should
Yeah.
have rubbed some hops. That should have been my open, but it wasn't. Well, enough about that. Let's get into life. Let's get into the show. Kathryn, we only have you for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So, how are things?
They're good. They're good.
All right.
I feel like looking in our tap room now, you would almost think that the past year didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Which is a good feeling.
I
So
feel-
it's good to be getting back to somewhat normal.
I feel like in the grand scheme of things, as Mike messes up the shot already set. Sorry, a little distracted, a little possessive. Is it? Producer Perry
There's
probably
only
told me.
one of you. That's the problem.
Yeah, I haven't cloned myself
Yep.
yet, and even if
Yep.
I did, I would still be second guessing my other
Well,
self.
then there's only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we know what happens. Multiple copies never works out for the best.
Well, I think if you get enough, if you get enough copies.
There, Multiplicity.
Yeah.
There's a movie about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
Michael
go and look
Keaton.
into that.
Yeah.
But it depends on who it is. I mean, how many Michael Keatons do you need?
I think the
One
one is
is
pushing.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're good.
He's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we went and watched, like, during COVID, we went and watched a bunch of old movies.
Yeah.
And, like, old being, like, 80s, 90s. And we watched some good Keaton movies.
Yeah, we did.
We watched the Batman, the
yeah.
original Batman.
He's in the first two.
Yeah. Yeah. And we watched Beetlejuice.
That one's great. I
Yeah.
love Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah.
Did you watch any other?
I think that's it.
Wasn't he Mr. Mom? Was that him?
Yes, I believe he was
No,
Mr.
no, I thought that was.
Or was that Alec Baldwin or somebody else?
I thought that was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's Mr. Nanny.
Oh, no, that's Hulk Hogan.
Oh. That's
I was thinking of Junior maybe with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Junior where he has the
being
baby.
yeah.
Or Kindergarten Cop.
yeah.
That was
not-
Schwarzenegger.
yeah. Maybe the Tuma.
Man, people have been missing out on movies advice without InterBrews.
Yeah.
Now we're like finally catching them up on movies and everything they've missed.
Yeah, and I forget that a lot of our audience, like they've seen some of those movies, but it's been a very long time. I take for granted that I watch movies over and over and over again all the time.
Yeah, you are a role model for me actually, and I was hoping like I had it. You know how you were hoping to get here? You had in your mind that you like this. I had in my mind I was going to do this, but I didn't do it. Type thing. Like you were going to get here early, but you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I had in my mind that I was going to watch Roadhouse before we had this interview because you told me like last InterBrews to watch Roadhouse,
And you
and I
didn't.
didn't. So
I've got it on
But
my
you
phone.
had it in my mind.
I've got it on my phone if you want to.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Now,
Amazon.
Before the next one. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So we watched another Kurt Russell movie or
That's-
Patrick Swayze movie.
Oh, gosh. I was about to just.
Sorry.
The things were about to get
Yeah.
heated.
I do get
That's
those two kind of.
I was about to
Yeah,
rip your
a
throat
little
out, but you'll
similar
catch that
look.
reference later.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we watched Point Break, which.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
man, that was good.
peak Swayze.
Yeah.
I think Roadhouse was peak Swayze, but when you pair Swayze with Keanu with Gary Busey,
Yeah.
that whole and
Forgot
Anthony
about Gary
Kiedis was
Busey.
in that. Yeah, he's in it too. Anthony Kiedis from the Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah,
he's
he
one
was.
of the surfers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and you mesh that all together.
Well, you
That's-
can see it. It's on the screen.
It's-
It's what you see.
Yeah, it's
Breathtaking.
it's like up there with peanut butter and jelly, and
It's up there with peanut butter and jelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
that's how well they went.
How proud would you be if someone put your accomplishment up there with peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, it's one of like if there was a Mount Rushmore of just all the things in life,
Peanut butter and jelly would be up there.
and then Point Break, at least somewhere there's a plaque in the park at least for Point Break for sure.
Why don't we just add those two things to Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, we've already blew up half the mountain. Why not add a little more?
Yeah.
They don't have to be on the scale of the president's heads.
No, they do.
Okay.
I think they do.
Yeah. Do you put the
You just
like,
put a PB&J in one of their mouths.
that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Or you know what? George Washington has like part. The original. I don't know if you ever saw like what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be their full torsos.
Oh, they had it in their head.
Yes.
That they were going to do the full
right.
thing.
And they ran out of
Well,
time.
they could pay an homage to the movie and put their torso with chiseled abs like Keanu's.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Or just have like a kind of like a dumbstruck look on one of the like. Whoa. Like,
I don't know. We went down the Keanu. We went into the Keanu Cave and watched a lot of Keanu Reeves movies
which
too.
is yeah. Yeah.
And
That guy,
He's great.
yeah. I mean, he had multiple trilogies.
Yes.
Like multiple, blockbuster trilogies.
he gets a bad rap for that dumbfounded look, but he
Oh,
knows what
but
he's
it's
doing.
all, it was well calculated.
Yeah.
What we didn't know
not so
was
dumb.
that this
We're the
is-
dumb ones.
Yes, this is gonna like there's movies that don't age well. You come back to it, it's like, oh, this is not as funny as I remember. Like I should have left. There's certain movies I should have left back in my like 13-year-old, mindset. Like I just remember this being just hilarious, and then you go back and watch like this is stupid.
Yeah.
But his look, it evolved over time. It got more mature as he did.
Yeah, and now when we look back on that dumb look, it's kind of like,
You can see that-
actually, he knew something that we didn't.
Yeah, he was already crafting
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah, actually, when I was thinking about the trilogies thing, isn't the Bill and Ted that became a
It's
trilogy?
now a trilogy.
Right?
Yeah,
So
I haven't
you
seen
got
the third
that,
one
You
yet.
have the Matrix, and we won't speak of the quality of the sequels of most of these movies, which
Right.
were terrible.
Right.
But you had that. You had the Matrix trilogy. You had the John Wick trilogy.
So far, it's going to be more.
and then you had. Did Speed ever do like a?
He wasn't in the sequel.
Oh,
No, wait, he
dang.
was. It was Sandra. Wait, no, he's not in the sequel.
Oh man.
No, but he was in Dracula.
I want him to be like. I want him to have like 10 trilogies. I just think
the
it'd be
John
cool.
Wick, the John Wick series may end up being a trilogy of
It doesn't-
trilogies.
Yeah, that's
Which-
different.
Maybe.
I
A
want like 10
trilogy-
independent trilogies.
Okay. Well, he's still got time.
I don't want nested trilogies.
Okay. Still, he's got time. I mean, who else has done a trilogy of trilogies other than like Yoda? That's it.
Yeah.
And
Land Before Time, I think, got pretty ridiculous.
yeah, that's not the same voice. I mean, let's be honest.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Think of any other ones?
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel,
Yeah.
sort of, kind of somebody in there. I don't know if anybody's been in every single movie. I don't think so.
That stuff is crazy. I don't even keep up with all the superhero movies.
Nah.
It's too much.
It kind of lost me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but whatever.
So we watched a lot of movies over COVID, and and we kind of came back, built the brewery back into. Yeah, these days if you walk in here, we're proud that like it looks normal.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a doctor's office, and
well,
there's people in here enjoying themselves with smiles on their faces. Like
this doesn't normally happen during InterBrews because we historically it's been an early in the day deal.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, and also we didn't used to be open at noon.
And now you are.
Now we are.
We're open at noon every day.
Woo! So this is what you're witnessing is the work from home revolution. You know, that COVID started.
Yeah.
We now have people who come in. I don't think this would have been possible before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because Houston's always been kind of a working town.
Yeah.
Where people work 9 to 5ers. They go into office.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Austin where everyone's working creative jobs and, starting startups and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of these 9 to 5ers are now either they're no longer 9 to 5ers and they've become creative types.
Right.
Or unemployed, I don't know. Or they've, or they're in a work from home kind of flexible arrangement is the case with a lot of them. We have people who come in here who are like, yeah, I'm working from home today and I wanted to come and
Do they bring
beers.
Do they bring their laptops with them?
Sometimes, yeah.
So they're working from the brewery.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
I mean, I know I go and I work at a coffee shop a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So for some people, it's just the same thing as going working from a
and
coffee shop.
we have coffee here.
We
so
do have
if you
coffee.
Come,
I'm sure.
somebody on Reddit recently said, "Hey, that's a great place to go and drink coffee, bring your laptop."
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure the bosses don't care as long as the work gets done, right? They don't care where it gets done at. As long as the work gets done.
All they care is that you are pretending to work, and as long if you have your laptop open, that's
they
good
see
enough.
you logged on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
advice from us. Take it from us. We already talked to your boss, and he said it's fine for you to come in here and work from home.
I think as crazy as COVID has been, and as much of I think there's definitely a negative impact that's going to last for in a lot of areas.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a lot of, well, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. But like,
we don't need to go there. But
no, but I think there's some things that have been stripped away, like that whole go to the office and, that's the protocol or whatever. I think, as long as you can get the work done.
Yep.
It's been shown already. It's all been exposed.
And you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
No, you can't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Saw that. Aladdin, we didn't watch over the COVID, but
no.
I think that's the lesson there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world.
Oh, there you go.
Indeed.
I do want to say thank you now that we're back together across the table from one another, that we did have some conversations during the whole COVID, even like the strongest part of the lockdown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and
great.
I'm glad we got to do that. I was going a little stir crazy. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And, that was just a little bit of sunshine.
That was nice, man. Yeah, I remember like early on we were doing a couple of phone calls, and then we did a Zoom or a Insta Live. And we talked to you while you were quarantined.
Yes.
I think you were like you had COVID, but you didn't.
I didn't really. I don't know.
You tested positive for COVID.
I tested positive for something.
Yeah, for something.
Like they said antibodies. And this was early on when people were like,
people
I don't
freaked
know
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out I was antibody of COVID.
Yeah.
No.
And
it was scary at the beginning, though. I mean, we shut down.
Yeah.
We were very nervous about everything.
Yeah.
So.
It was a weird time. It was a very weird time.
Yeah. Well, and now we're learning that. Yeah. Like,
oh man.
How much are we learning now?
It depends on how much you want to see.
Yeah. I think that's why. Like driving here, I saw a guy standing outside by himself in the sun, wearing one of the big masks, hand sanitizing, in the I'm like, okay, we got a ways to go. There's a lot of people that are not ready to.
Everyone has their own COVID comfort.
Yes.
Who's gonna be the last one?
Probably
it's
that
like
guy.
Someone like 30 years from now who's
Still.
finally he's like takes the last mask out of the package and is like, you know what? I think this is my last package of masks.
He'll be
right
like Matt Damon at the end of Saving Private Ryan. It'll be like smash cut to the old. It's his old self standing in the cemetery, and he'll just finally
Throw
take
down the mask.
something. I don't know, but there'll be
everyone
somebody.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? What was the show? Was it Star Trek or one of those shows where they found there was like a Japanese World War II veteran that had been on an island by himself for?
Oh, well, I
was that
don't know
real?
if you listened to Dan Carlin's. Is it Dan Carlin's Hardcore History?
Yeah.
And he has a podcast And he talks about, when he talks about the history of the Pacific Campaign of World War II, that there was a Japanese soldier who was found in Southeast Asia, Philippines or somewhere, wherever there was a campaign going on in like the 70s.
Yeah, still.
And he had been told his order was don't come back until you've, accomplished your mission.
Right.
And they, found him wandering around.
Hold this island.
Yeah.
Keep this island.
Yeah, exactly. And he refused to, to believe anybody or come back.
Yeah. Following orders.
Yeah, following orders.
I bet. Yeah, it'll be that guy's out there wearing a mask still, just sanitizing every day.
We're gonna follow that guy.
Yeah, he's probably on Twitter.
That'd be a good documentary.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's for the most part we've seen people come in here since we've been open in some capacity for a long time, and we had people coming in early on who were like the few people who were coming out of their houses and wanted to come in and drink a beer, and just every month or so we'd see more people coming back, and they'd be like, it's nice to be back.
It's that once you walk into a place, like no mask, kind of see people around you.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Then, and I don't know, do you listen to either one of y'all listen to Joe Rogan's podcast at all ever?
Now that he's on Spotify, I'm not as big into it, but
his latest episode with Edward somebody,
Snowden?
huh? Yeah, no.
Oh.
Anyway, the guy, he wrote a book called Drunk, and it's about how alcohol helped build society, and how
I like this book.
Yes, and how it's like technically alcohol in your body is a poison. That's why your body has.
I don't. Holler Brewing does not agree with that.
In a copious amount.
I guess it would be irresponsible to. Yeah.
In copious amount,
I was just kidding.
No,
okay.
I mean, well, that's the thing. He kind of couches it in like evolutionary science kind of deal. Like, why did this even help us along? But then it talks about, in the same breath, it's like, well, your prefrontal cortex takes a back seat once you get a little alcohol, and so your inhibitions start to go away. Societal, gathering and collaborating, like you get more creative when you've had a couple of beers.
Liquid courage.
Yes. Yeah, it really does, because you're so if I say something now, somebody's going to call me stupid. A couple of beers, that same idea comes out, and people get real creative, because it turns out your idea is not that stupid, you're just insecure, which I'm like, I totally see that.
Great.
See that.
So I think breweries will play this role in getting society back to where we can actually sit at a table with friends. And
I hope so. I think you're right. I think that's always the role that we've played is and I think that's the difference between a brewery and a bar. If we want to get real kind of, technical about levels of drunkenness, you don't get hammered at a brewery, right? You get
unless it's an actual hammer because you're fixing something because you work there.
Yes, then you absolutely. I've been hammered at a brewery that way, but you get buzzed.
Yeah.
And it is that buzz that when you're 2 or 3 or 4 beers in, where you're gelling, right? And you have definitely kind of unleashed some creativity or and released some inhibitions.
Yeah.
But you're still coherent.
Yes.
And I think that it actually alcohol raises your level of consciousness in a way.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
And then, of course, if you keep drinking, then you
there's
crash down.
There's
and
a fine
way worse.
They were talking on that podcast, and if you go back and listen to it, if you want to, after you listen to this podcast, go back and watch that episode or listen to that episode if you want.
Yeah.
Or there's clips on YouTube, like little 5-minute clips, which I think he talks about this. But what's the guy that owns the Clippers that used to work for Microsoft? Voldemort? What? The bald guy.
Yeah. I know the bald guy. Steve Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Yeah, Steve
One
Baldwin.
of the Baldwin brothers.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Billy?
I know
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
He
had a great. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the rumor was, and somebody asked him about it, like a Google Talk or something at one point. He had like an optimum AB, blood alcohol level. It was at 0.0 whatever, and the rumor was he had an IV to give him.
Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
He had an IV to give him that.
Just that right amount when he was coding. He's like, when I code, I need to be right here.
Oh.
And so I have an IV. Then I don't know if it switched back and forth from keep you like a glycol chiller and heat exchangers. I don't know. Something.
Golfing is one. If you ever go out, you have a couple of 1 beer, 2 beers, and you're getting in the groove.
Yeah.
And then you're celebrating after the birdie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you.
Only birdies.
Well,
up.
I mean, I'm talking. I get a birdie in a scramble or something.
Oh.
Not my own.
I see. That's the only time I
see.
suck.
But anyway, once you drink past 3 beers, then it's just your performance goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta mix in a water and amount of sweat depending on if you're in
Yeah.
Houston. So
Yeah.
if it's anywhere between February
Some
and
cigarettes. You know, you got to keep some hot dogs.
yeah, it's a sport.
Yeah. There's a whole chemistry going
Performance
into this.
enhancement.
Yeah.
Recovery. Well, Kathryn, I want to get the most out of you in this conversation before you have to
thank
jet. I don't know. Are you keeping a tabs?
I am.
Give us the high sign, or just throw down your headphones.
I think I got 3 minutes.
Okay, give us 245 of like your, I don't know, some wisdom.
I'm backing up from the microphone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just a couple things maybe to promote
Yeah.
Holler Brewing.
Perfect.
We've got a Father's Day event coming up. We're releasing a Nelson Sauvignon hopped lager called
Sauvignon.
Patio Daddio.
Okay, I like it already.
We're excited about that. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have face painting for the kids.
Cool.
So if you're looking for Father's Day plans, come on out to Holler Brewing.
Have the kiddos kind of made y'all reevaluate like the kid-friendly, family-friendly like promotions, or is that just me reading into
We've
it?
always been fairly kid-friendly.
You've
but
tested out more of them, I'm sure. Like what's actually
Yeah.
fun versus.
I mean, it's hard to have the same amount of fun now that we had before we had children.
It's a different kind of fun.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of fun. But I think we are definitely searching for more kind of family-friendly activities. And, you know, we have a lot of people who come to Holler Brewing that have children, and we wanna create a safe environment that's fun for them, but we also want to have a fun environment for people who don't have children or don't like children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a balance.
Yeah. Like a fine beer.
Exactly.
You got to find the balance. And sometimes
Exactly.
the balance is a little more hoppy. Sometimes it's malty. Sometimes it's tart. Sometimes there's kids.
Yep.
Sometimes there's no kids.
That's right.
Sometimes there's dogs.
That's right. Yes.
All that.
Yep.
It's like a metaphor for life.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's really what we've got going on here. But to be honest, this is my comeback too, because the second baby just started daycare last week. So I'm still getting into my groove, getting my
Yeah.
groove back.
How Kathryn got her.
Catherine
Got her
and Josh got their grooves back.
Yeah. Like a record. See, we're going to just metaphor it up.
Yep.
Yep.
Our groove's like a record. And
Yep.
It's just.
There's
it's
a
gonna
lot of
be
people getting their grooves back.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people
I-
getting
This
their
is like
grooves
the
back.
theme of what's going on.
I've been
right
on
now,
a journey
getting
for
grooves
mine.
back.
I think I've got new. I'm having to develop new grooves.
Yeah.
I developed some bad grooves that kind of were detrimental, but I'm having a battle through that. And now we're
Hey,
here.
that's life.
It is life.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So
What do you call bad grooves? Are they bad grooves or something else?
for me, it's just anxiety.
No, but I mean,
Scratches.
yeah.
Yeah.
Grooves aren't bad. Like grooves are all good, aren't they?
Maybe. Unless
you wouldn't say
Dense.
somebody got their groove back if it was bad.
Yeah, like hey, I got my groove back.
Yeah.
And when you're really talking about, you know,
Somebody
like
did-
alcoholism or something.
Right. I was off. I was off that wagon for a while, the drunk wagon, and now I'm back on it. So
Well, welcome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks. I'm not. I wasn't on the drunk wagon. Drunk album. Too many words.
We do need to get some more beer.
We do.
Yeah.
Now
and
that-
I can dip out, I think, while you guys are getting your beers.
Okay.
About?
I'm gonna dip out.
All right. Well, since we're doing video, I'm just gonna keep. We are gonna edit after the fact, but
I'm gonna stand up and get you a beer.
let's do beers, and I'll just keep waxing poetic, and I may edit this part out, or I may not. But
Okay.
Kathryn,
Yeah.
it's good to see
nice
you.
to see you too.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for having us, all of us, and all our stuff. Where's my camera? Am I here? I want to try the French Pilsner. Is that okay? Yeah. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. No, that's not. This is me. I see me. Yeah. So anyway, hi everybody. This will probably get edited out, but maybe not. And if it doesn't, here's my chance to tell you that we have a Patreon page, and in the future, when we do these events at the brewery, as you can see, beautiful HD video, producer Perry and TD Mike and Kate. What's your title? We'll figure out photographer, photog Kate, media director Kate. So we'll. As we do that, we're going to do a live stream on our Patreon page. So we do have a Patreon page. I'm going to figure out how to do some other ways. We also accept crypto if you want to help support the show that way. Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Perry, you got any Dogecoin? No.
I got some AMC though.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that. I bought it the wrong time though. Turns out you had to buy the dip. But I'm Diamond Hands.
It's on a dip right now.
Is it? I know. I know because I bought it when it was more expensive than it is now.
Get that.
But Diamond Hands here. I'm gonna keep hanging on.
I know what all that means.
By my
Doing
stonks.
research.
Huh? Yeah. All my stonks.
Why do they call it that, by the way? I've been seeing that a lot here lately.
I don't know why stonks. John would probably know better than we do. Where did the term stonks come from? Like the AMC and the GameStops.
Yeah. Trump.
Is it a Trump thing?
Yeah, he I think did some tweet where he was a toilet tweet where he fat fingered it. And instead of stocks, it said stonks.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely caught on. I see it all the time now.
The meme stocks. Do you have any?
I bought some GME during the first wave of all that crazy stuff, and I just decided I'm going to buy it, and I just guess going to never sell it.
Yeah. Just Diamond Hands.
But then once I think, and I only do that because I don't have very many stonks to begin with. Like I just have this. I have this money that's trapped. It's like an old IRA, and it's trapped. Like I can't take it out. So I figured, like,
that's a beautiful beer.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my money's trapped anyway. So I figured it's almost like spite the system. Like screw it, I'm just gonna put this into GME and never take it out anymore.
Yeah. That's.
I'm gonna go sit over there.
Okay.
So yeah, this is what you're drinking is Fou du Fafa. It's a French Pilsner. So it's made with 100% French Pilsner malt.
Okay.
And then we have this French hop called Barbarouge, which is like it's a very interesting. It's got like some spicy note, but also like some berry, kind of like raspberry, strawberry type note to it.
That's unlike anything I've ever tried.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's we brewed it for the first time.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That might be exactly what I've been searching for the last little while. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll be like, man, I don't know what I'm in the mood for. But I go and I could get it. And I'm like, one of them was like, that's pretty good. And I get into it, I'm like, that's not exactly.
Yeah.
It's not exactly it. That's pretty close.
Cool.
Once I get to here, I'll let you know if
Cool.
it's exactly
Let me know.
it.
You really, I mean, in my opinion, a good beer, you really don't know until you're halfway through this beer.
Yeah.
I agree. That's where
I mean, it's crisp, but it's got a big flavor. It's something. It's a little more. What are you doing? You're gonna join?
Yeah,
okay.
It's definitely got more going on than your average Pilsner.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not like one of these in your face, dry hopped American IPL type beers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of our favorite beers. We've pretty much had it on. We normally don't keep beers on tap. We normally rotate through and say goodbye. But this is one that we just haven't been able to say goodbye to. We keep bringing it back.
It's everything about a Pilsner, like the crispy, dry, like all that, and then like you said, it doesn't take it off into a different direction. It keeps all those things, but then adds this other element of it's nice.
Yeah, I think it's that hop character that just and that hop character is it's so different than a typical like American hop.
Had you experienced a French Pilsner before, or was this something you thought up or took a trip to? Were you backpacking through Francais?
I don't know. I can't remember where we came up with this one. It's not like we just created it out of thin air. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's.
I think Barbarouge is a hop that I had tried, and I don't know if it was a lager or an ale, but I had a beer. I think we were traveling somewhere. I think it was in Portland actually a couple of years ago, and there was like I think it was at a conference. There were people, maybe GABF or something, and I had a beer, dry hops with Barbarouge, and I was like, damn, that is really cool.
Yeah.
And it was a hop that I wanted to use for a while. We know a friend of ours works in, these guys all move around the industry, and he works for a company called Malt Europe. Okay. And they sell this French Pilsner malt that he'd always wanted to. He's pushing. And I was like, I think we'll try it, and we'll use it with this hop.
So does the French refer to? It's grown in France?
It's grown in France,
okay.
And it's
malted
in France. Okay. I don't know where exactly in France.
Do they have
I'm just trusting that. I don't. Maybe they're lying.
Do they have a certain French style of malting that's that's? I just feel like they're
You're asking too many questions. You get to the bottom of this, it probably would turn out that it could very easily be, Belgian malt or German.
To me,
it's base Pilsner malt.
Well, I know
it's grown in France.
I like the illusion of.
Yes. Okay. Then yes, they do. They have a very special French
they're
method. It's in Julia Child, one of her early cookbooks, actually, where she talked about how to malt barley, and they do that. So
it's like a foie gras style. Like they force
fatten
feed
it up.
Yeah, the Pilsner grain. Malt. Yeah, with nothing but whatever. Yeah. More grain.
Yeah, it's absolutely. They torture the grains.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, they lock it into like the stock. It's the only thing is the little plume at the top is the only thing sticking out. Yep. And they just force feed more grain into the grain.
Yeah. All for your pleasure.
It's totally worth
cool.
it. Totally
glad
worth
to hear it, man.
I'm enjoying the mess out of this one.
Good.
The mess.
Have you tried it? It's just super pleasant. It's just
Which one is the Faux de Fafa?
Faux de Fafa, yeah.
Faux de Fafa?
So it's a Flight of the Conchords song. I don't know if you know Flight of the Conchords.
I remember the show from HBO, but
the show.
What did they have like a they had
song? 2 seasons.
Did they have like a song that got popular at one point, or was it just
they had some songs that got popular. That was where they started. They were like they're kind of like a Tenacious D.
Yeah.
From New Zealand.
Yeah.
A little bit definitely cleaner than Tenacious D. And then they were a folk duo, and then they got an HBO show.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a lot of their songs they did in the shows. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a song called Foo de Fafa.
Foo de Fafa.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, I don't think it means anything, but we ripped it off. And we ripped off the video too. We made like a little Jorge and I and Kathryn made and Ashley, but the whole crew actually, we made like a takeoff on it.
I think I remember
it's on Instagram. Actually, if you get our cans, on the bottom of the can we printed a link to that video.
Okay.
So you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, we weren't sophisticated enough to print a QR code on the bottom of the can, but we did print like a little URL, so you can buy the cans and you can look up the video, or you can just look it up on our Instagram.
Cool.
Or you can not do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not your boss.
No, it would behoove you to do it.
Yeah.
Real quick, I can't help when somebody walks by with a beer. I got to check out their beer.
What you seeing?
I'm just seeing your glassware game. I love the.
Oh yeah.
What do you call those? The
tankards.
Is there tankards? Aren't they called like a jelly pint or something? I don't know.
They look like a hop.
A little bit. But
yeah, they kind of
English
cone.
Traditional like English style.
So there's an English version and there's a European version. These are the European ones.
Oh.
Yeah. So the English ones are 19 ounces, like a imperial pint.
Okay.
And these are, I think, 22 ounce or 23 ounces.
Okay.
And they're a bit of different shape than the English one. And yeah, it's 23 ounces, but it's supposed to be like 4 ounces is just for the foam.
Oh, perfect.
So like the beauty is you have this mug, this big old tankard in your hand. And it's got a huge, stiff, delicious foam on the top that keeps the beer fresh. And yeah, we've been doing those for a little while. We serve all of our lagers in those glasses.
Okay. Presentation to me is like, I don't know if it's I think that's one thing I noticed. Like when you went out for beers, like the plastic cups, single-use plastic cups, was not.
No, that was killing me. Like having to do that because it's just, I mean, the environment thing is bad, but that honestly didn't hurt me as much as just the degradation of the experience.
Yeah.
When you, we had to do that for a long time with COVID because we were not allowed to legally be open as a bar. So we had to be under the pretense of saying that all our beer is to go.
Yeah.
So we had to give you your beer in a plastic cup.
Right.
And say, here, you can take that to go and, you can drink it on the patio or whatever. But, that just, it's, I think the glass is such a, ever since we opened, we never served our beer in shaker pints. I don't have anything against other places doing it, but we think, coming in here, the glass is a big part of it, and I think the glassware that we serve the beer in is designed for the beer, and it's just such a huge part of the experience. The way you feel when you're holding the glass, the way that the beer looks in the glass, the way that the beer smells and tastes from the glass even is different than a plastic cup.
Yeah,
so
Mike's been to the house. He's seen my shelves full of beer style specific glasses, and I'm a huge beer glass geek but I'm like a stickler when we're at the house. When my wife's like, "Oh, bring me a double IPA."
Drink it out of the can?
No, well she would, but I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Let me go do this.
Yeah.
And it's like we'll have like she's like, "Well, why you got 7 glasses dirty tonight. We had 2 beers. Like, I was like, I'm just trying to see which one is optimum for whatever.
Yeah.
But
so you take a couple sips of it, and then you grab the next glass and just transfer it over.
Yeah, if it's not working. But then you have to think about, okay, well, now we have temperature change and everything else, so it's not a pure scientific, you really have to go to the lab to really see.
And
Let's do it.
And me, on the other hand, I just kind of want, I don't know, Kate can kind of speak for me on that, but I have all these cool glasses that I get, pint glasses and the different style hefts and the small ones and the odd-shaped ones, and I couldn't tell you all the names of the glasses, but I just use whatever's available, and I got me a Keyser in the backyard. I'm in the shed, and I'll just go pour it. And I got a little crate right there in the backyard or in the shed, and I'll just grab it, and I'll go pour it out. I want my ESB, my hef, or my little cinnamon toast cream ale that I did. And I just I'll put it in that one, or I'll just put it in a pint glass or whatever. So, I mean, I'm the same way. I have filthy used mugs, glasses, but, I'm using them for just 'cause
That's great.
I don't know.
So those all home brews that you
Yeah.
drink?
See, there's something to that, too, though. Like, when I'm sitting in the backyard, I just mowed the yard, or, and we have, like, a couple of years ago, we got a kiddie pool just for, we're going to let the girls play in it, but the girls were like, it's weird. So Kelly and I were like,
all right.
we just got the cooler, put it right next to it, and just sat there and just WT'd it up, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Just drinking out of cans, and it's like, that worked. Or, I've gotten to where I really like something about a bottle, like a good beer, like in the bottle. There's some beers that, like, the bottle, I'm like, you can put that little lip goes right between your fingers. You kind of swing it a little bit, like while you're sitting there. I don't know what it is.
Dude, I get the if I'm getting St. Arnold beer and I'm at the grocery store and I see the bottles next to the cans, I'm getting the bottles.
Yeah, I just got some fancy lawnmower. I was like, I want it in bottles.
Yeah.
Like I saw they had it, and I was like, I don't want cans.
But you drink it straight out the bottle.
That beer, yeah, especially like on the front porch.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I did buy a whole like 12-pack of the Stong Kolsch glasses, and those are great because they look cool.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
And I need a tray. And then at some point, I'm going to get you and maybe everybody to brew their own Kolsch, and like we can just do a Kolsch party.
Oh man, I would love to do that.
Yeah, just do like and just have the paddles and everything. Like, we'll quit bringing them when you turn that paddle over. But until then, I'll have to hire somebody just to, because that's what they just turn that faucet on, and they're just. I don't know if you ever watched videos of it.
Yeah, we did it. I've done it over there, and it's so fascinating. And there's also an interesting. I think it's interesting anyway. The way those guys work, they are independent contractors. They're not employees of the restaurant.
Really?
So they're actually kind of like buying the beer from the bar and selling it to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I guess they mark it up. Or,
yeah. I mean, there's probably some standard price or whatever, but yeah, they come in like give you your bill. You're paying it to them, and then that's what we went around. We had a German tour guide, professor actually, and he was telling us that's how those guys work. And so that's why they're especially interested in pushing as many of those beers onto you as possible.
Well, that little, it only holds like, 9 ounces or something like that? And so you're just, and like one drink and it's like 3/4 gone.
Yeah, because it's super tall. So exactly.
And it just fits in your hand. Yeah. The ones I bought are from, I guess, I don't know if they're made in Cologne, but they're from Germany. But they're like, I knocked one off the shelf, and so now I'm down to 11. And they weren't like safety glass. It was like all the sharpest shards. Like 2 of them went in my leg. It's like, okay, that's authentic.
Dang. Yeah.
Old world.
It's part of you now.
Yeah. So I've got a little bit of stong. My stonks and my stong.
Nice.
Stong in my blood.
Hey, what stonks do you have?
Stonks. I just got a little bit of, I bought the Naked brand at the beginning. Turns out there wasn't one that people were really going after. It's like a clothing company down in New Zealand that makes stretchy pants for women.
Oh, yeah, like $100 stretchy pants?
Yeah, and I were like, oh, that's definitely going to do it. But it turns out the stretchy pants market, people weren't as enthusiastic.
Not as enthusiastic about that as they are the
GameStop.
Going to a video game store.
Yeah, but you wear stretchy pants when you go to the GameStop, I would hope.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess
you're stretching those things out, man.
Yeah. But, it turns out nobody wanted to buy that one because I got it for like $1 a share. And it's down to like 45 cents. But then I got some.
Well, you should really like it now then.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I love it.
It's a great deal.
I can't wait. Now I got some AMC.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do GameStop, but the day I went to get it, they halted it right as I was about to buy it. Like, well,
that stuff was so crazy.
That was the shadiest thing.
That was
like,
real shady.
You're mad because we're doing to you what you were doing to everybody else, and then you just paused the game.
Yeah,
you're that kid that owned all the video games. Like, you didn't beat me, and
paused
it.
Or unplugs
the controller. Yeah.
This is my game. You got to go. Your mom's calling. Like, no, she's not. Yes, she is. We have to go. Like, You're the worst.
Yep.
I hated that
But
kid.
I'll still be back tomorrow because you have all the cool video
Yeah,
games.
yeah. You had to know the kid. There was the kid who was like the bully, who had like the popular kind of bully kid who had all the games.
Mhm.
But then you wanted like the nerd
Yeah.
kid who didn't have any
Real friends. Yes.
It didn't have any ego, who had like a low self-esteem.
Right.
And you could just, you didn't have to worry about him doing anything like that. You could
Right.
just take advantage of him.
But
play all the games.
if he had somebody in reserve, like eventually, it's like, oh, I've got all these people. Like if he did the math, he might pull that. See
Yeah,
what happens.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Then you
Well,
just-
competition.
Yeah. Then wedgie.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
it-
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Make fun of him at school or something for wetting
Yeah.
the bed or something. I don't know.
Plenty of cards you could play on that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't even see it coming.
No.
You're about to get pushed in a closet and the door shut. How long you want to be in there? No, your mom can't even hear you. At his own house. That's humiliation. Like getting bullied at your own house.
Oh yeah, terrible.
I'm
sometimes-
sorry.
yeah.
Nah, I wasn't. I was more likely that kid than the bully.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people don't get bullied enough lately, but I feel like bullying kind of shapes you in a way that you learn to overcome things. I mean, unless it's way bad, then you
Yeah, unless you die.
Yeah.
Or kill yourself.
something.
whatever.
Yeah, that's horrible. But
Yeah.
a little bit. You need like just a sprinkling of bullying.
Absolutely. I think there was like Chris Rock did one a few years ago where he was like, at school, I didn't learn that much from the teachers, but I learned a lot from the bullies.
Yeah, yeah. You learn how to handle yourself in those situations.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking like from an evolutionary standpoint, that if the people who can survive that, they can survive anything. And it's like that's the new bear attack or the next village over
Absolutely.
or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's an illusion that we can just take that part of the world, part of take that meanness, just take it out, get
No.
rid of it,
Yeah.
and we haven't at all.
Mm-mm.
And there's plenty of bullying that goes on. Like the worst bullying we've ever seen
Yeah.
happens right
Yes.
now
Yes.
to people, and the consequences are far worse than anything that I saw in school with the schoolyard bully. It's
Yeah.
more like people die, people lose their livelihood or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't think we've gotten rid of bullying at all, and we've we basically have made people unable to deal with it and unable to recognize it.
Yeah.
You and I grew up with bullies, so when I see it online or whatever, I'm like, yeah, that's bullying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what if you've been deprived of growing up with bullies?
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to recognize it.
Yeah. When everything's nerfed, you don't know what to do when you
Everything's nerfed.
Yeah. You don't know
Yeah.
what to do when you get,
It's Nerf's fault.
yeah, big foam. Big
Doesn't
foam,
hurt. Make it doesn't hurt.
Big foam pushed it all.
Yeah.
They could make those things hurt a little bit,
Uh-huh.
I think
little
that'd be
bit.
more fun.
Like every 100th Nerf bullet, put a
It's got
little
like a
tack in
rock
the
in
end.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
something. A little piece of broken glass or something rusty, like the trigger breaks and there's a piece of metal in there.
An old nail or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by accident,
By
Just,
accident.
yeah, just so
Off the
happens to be in
factory,
there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Or, something. It's a life lesson. Never take for granted that
Yeah.
this is not going to hurt.
Worth
So,
it.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to get a black eye. I got a black eye. Like, I got my first black eye in probably 20 years a couple weeks ago.
Oh, what'd you do?
Taking
bully?
jiu-jitsu. No.
Oh, you're taking jiu-jitsu.
Yes, because that was part of my therapy. And so it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
And everybody I know who's gotten into it, and I seem to know a lot of people who've gotten into it, are just so stoked on it.
Oh, it's the best.
And they're all old guys
yeah,
like you.
I'm not.
You are old. It's okay. We're,
not
we're
like
all
like
old.
us.
Like us.
I was
like
messing
you.
with
Like
you.
How
Like
old
us.
are you?
30. I'm about to turn 35.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have been in the same high school.
No, I was advanced, so
Okay.
yeah.
He graduated before us.
I totally would have stuffed you in a locker. Hey, that kid's supposed to be in 7th grade. Put him in that locker. You would have actually,
the 7th grade locker.
yeah. If you were cool enough to be in high school, if you were in 7th grade, you would have been like our mascot. Like he's our guy. That's our that's our
exactly.
that's our guy.
He's not getting picked on. That
Yeah.
kid's not getting picked. It's like that movie. Another movie we watched was Lucas. It was not
Yeah.
a very great movie.
Corey
but
Haim,
Yeah.
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 where he played. Well, he had the glasses. Who else? Oh, Carrie. What was
Man,
the?
this guy is like a
Yeah.
IMDb.
No, it's
He
just
is.
there's a certain genre, and that's in there. That's one we rented when I was a kid, and we watched. Like you would rent the VHS tape, and you'd watch it all weekend long, because then you had to take it back. The girl from Goonies, because we watched Goonies.
Right.
I've seen it a million times. Carrie,
Haven't
the
seen it.
main chick from Goonies, that was Brand's girlfriend.
The
I don't
problem
know.
is, you know, like 10 times more movie stuff than anyone else. So what you have to do is just let us come up with the references, and then you have to be like, oh yeah, right?
Oh,
But
sorry.
when you're trying to tell us these things,
no,
It just stops.
You've seen
Yeah.
Goonies though, right?
I actually haven't.
Like
that's
once
like
or
that's
twice.
one, that's my I know. So that's
Mike,
what they're
you've
with
seen Goonies.
Roadhouse.
Once or twice, yeah. And I don't remember it.
They're not even paying attention because
know,
they're probably
I
over there
know.
watching Goonies on her
Yeah,
phone right
all
now.
right.
What was her name? Not Carrie Fisher. That's the Star Wars chick.
Leia?
Yeah, that's. I'll think of it.
I don't know.
Not anyway. The main girl in Goonies. That was Brand's girlfriend.
Okay. That's
She
cool.
was in Lucas.
So what's gonna happen now that InterBrews is riding again?
You
Where
know,
are you going next?
I don't know yet. I
Okay.
haven't. This was it. This was like
Awesome.
I'm gonna get back out there. I don't know if it'll come out with the frequency or I'll probably do it in like a whole bunch at one time, and then it might be because like we've got some now that my kids hit summer, and I'm like, all right, summer, time to take it easy, and then I remember, oh wait, I turn into
Oh God.
Andrea Carmichael's her name. That's not who I thought that was, but that's who that is. That's
Okay.
that she was in Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the
Sorry, go ahead.
older girl that Lucas had a crush on.
Yeah, she's.
Didn't he die in that movie? Didn't Lucas die? Do I remember that correctly, or did he get hurt? Like he's playing football or something.
He got hurt. He didn't die.
Playing football.
Yeah, he's playing football.
He had nerdy glasses.
Mm-mm,
Like, he's
yeah.
a nerd character. Put him in glasses. That was it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
had some
that's what they
tape on
did.
them or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's
It was
been a
kind of
while.
like, I remember like we were talking about high school movies. She's All That was a movie back in the 90s where
Yeah.
like she takes off her glasses and all of a sudden it's like the hottest chick you've ever seen.
Yeah, they play the song from. It's the remake of that older
There She
song.
Goes.
There She Goes, but it was
Sixpence
None the Richer. But
yeah.
that's an
It's
early
kinda
song
so
from like
bad.
the Scooters or some group like I don't know who the
Uh-huh.
Scooters are, but it was like one of those kind of games. Do there she goes or whatever, and like one of those. They all wore sweaters. One of those groups.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Very.
She does that slow walk in the hair.
Mhm.
Who else was in it?
Short
Wasn't,
hair.
was that the one with the
Josh or
the Joker?
Junior.
Josh
Freddie
Hartnett?
Prinze. No, Freddie Prinze Jr. I think.
Okay, that was his.
Yeah.
There was one with
And
Josh-
that was another where I think he was like nerdy looking dude, and then he like got all,
He just
got
took
a
his glasses
makeover and everything. Took his glasses off, and all
Put
of a
on some
sudden
clean
he's like,
underwear.
yeah, he's like the stud.
Oh,
Oh, okay, yeah.
that was.
Maybe I'm
Does
mixing up movies.
that work though? I don't feel like
no,
it doesn't work
no.
because you buy like the girl that has no confidence. Like any girl with confidence is attractive on some level. Even like the
It's like, do you think somebody would not realize? Do you think no one would? They wouldn't ever take a look in the mirror and take their glasses off and wonder, is this an improvement or not?
I don't. Maybe she wore. Maybe is it COVID? She wore a mask.
Yeah, all
and
the
glasses.
time.
Yeah. Maybe that's why some of these people are still wearing masks. Like they're wearing them.
Part of their look.
Yeah, they're like,
Maybe
I
they're
don't have the
afraid.
confidence.
Cover up?
Yeah.
Like when I saw that guy, I should have rolled down my window and be like, "You look great, bro.
Yeah, you look good. You can
You
do
could
it.
have turned his
do
life
it."
around.
Yeah.
Take that. You're gonna get a mask tan line. Just take. You're good.
Masked.
That's how you're good. That's
gonna
to
be,
tell
Yeah, yeah.
people that have that.
Oh yeah, welcome. Yeah, you say, hey, welcome to 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the post-COVID or the COVID didn't end with a cut. It's definitely a fade.
That's
It's
true.
fading out.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
slow fade.
Yep.
Slow.
Yep.
Yeah. And when that
It started with a cut.
yeah.
I mean, it
there's-
started like within a week or two, everyone was kind of on the same page.
Yes.
There, and then
Yes.
and then it ended. Depending on who you are,
Mm-hmm.
it ended over like the course of several years.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been over for like in some places I've been done with it forever.
Yeah.
Like, but in some places I'm still like
Still have to deal with it.
still have to deal with it. And
Yep.
it's like
Airports, airplanes. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
my work.
It is
Work,
horrible.
yep.
Really?
yeah. And that's the thing. Airport like I don't know. You're not. I don't know.
It's terrible. I've flown so many times over COVID because
Really?
Yeah, because we had a 2-year-old. It's like it's been easier. Most of the time, it's been easier to fly with them because like more seats are open and everything, and we've had the business open, so we haven't had much anxiety about COVID. We're not around any immunocompromised. So anyway, we haven't had many concerns about it, and so we've been flying a lot. And but God, the
Lines, airports.
the mask thing,
Like, just in the
having to
plane.
wear the mask the whole time, and
Yeah.
all you hear about is masks. Like everywhere you are, they're just like when you get to the airport, you just hear the overhead speakers on mask. You're gonna get fined if you don't wear a mask, and then you get on the plane, and it's as if though they didn't have enough things to announce already.
right.
Like I remember early on when I flew, I don't think they spent 40 minutes giving you a lecture about all the rules.
There's
But
a full
now that's
podcast that
pretty
you have to
much-
listen to.
Yeah, it is.
Hosted by. If I can get that
Exactly.
hosting gig, I don't know what it pays, but that would be. It's a security from now on. Work security for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's but don't it's posted everywhere. I mean there's like signs and everything. It's just it's just a very oppressive experience in my opinion.
Talk about like a world of difference. Like if you went back to the like early '80s, mid '80s, people were smoking on planes.
Yeah.
Like there was a section where you could smoke. I don't even think there was a section.
Yeah.
It's just
The
sometimes
yeah.
it was the whole plane. Like they might turn on the light. Oh, go ahead and put your cigarette out, sir. We're about to whatever. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
You could smoke
Yeah.
on a plane.
Like they used to have them. Like I think my grandparents they used to have like ashtrays on the and like
the bench
That's
seat with
right.
the
Yeah,
ashtray in the
on
middle.
on the like the
Or on the-
console
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And they just it's a little metal thing and it flows
Uh-huh.
out and you can just
Had that
set it there.
spring,
Yeah.
pink, and it would come open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody's talking about like the bench seat, and like Kennedy was talking about that the other day when they would drive from Corpus Christi up to like Kansas or some like a 24-hour trip or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like their dad, that they didn't have music, like they wouldn't talk. All they would do is talk. They wouldn't listen to music because they're like, yeah, it's awful, right?
Yeah.
And whoever sat behind his dad, if he touched the seat, he could feel everything. He'd like, quick on the seat, you know. But it's like, well, couldn't you just like, scoot over? It's like, no, it was the bench seat with like the ashtray right in the middle of the bench seat in front of you. But that's the thought of like somebody just sitting back there, just ashing into the back of the seat. That everybody's just smoking cigarettes the whole time.
I mean, hey, if it's for you, whatever.
The windows are all up.
No, not for me.
Yeah, that's great. It's crazy
Not
that
for
I mean that's one thing that's changed like in 50 years that's a norm that's changed
Yeah.
everywhere.
No
I
smoking.
can't even imagine it. I mean, walking in a place like this,
Yeah.
our brewery, people would be smoking here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there were no non-smoking places.
Yeah.
There were places that had non-smoking sections.
Yeah. Like you were like, oh, you don't like to smoke? You can go sit in that
Yeah,
corner
little
over there.
Yeah, you loser.
Yeah.
Little wuss.
Yeah. And then now, then it's kept creeping, and then it just, I mean, that's for the better, I think. But, it's just wild to see how much that's changed.
Totally.
And like if you didn't smoke and you wanted to fly, like and they were allowing you to smoke on the plane, I'll drive or I'll catch the next flight.
Yeah.
Or I just won't go.
Yeah.
Like.
But now, if you do smoke, I mean, there's nothing. You got to get your own plane, I guess.
Yeah, if
Like,
even
there's
that.
not. I think for a while there were some. I want to say I remember like Hooters had an chartered a plane
For,
and
like-
you could like fly. You get your wings and
Yeah.
you
Like
know,
for 10 minutes, I remember that. It was like this orange and white
Yeah.
behemoth with that owl on it.
yeah.
The hootie owl.
Those were Hooters was riding high for a little while. Now I'm not so sure.
No,
It's
I've
I
never.
think that concept is a little maybe past its time.
Yeah, I think I've gone twice in my life, and one was to watch like a UFC fight because it was the only place that had it back when that was like you had to go. Like you could just pirate it. It was like
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Like UFC had gotten big enough to where I was into it, but it was pirate the
Yeah.
pirate the fights, and Hooters was the only
Hooters
option.
was there for you.
It was like a Tito Ortiz fight.
So you're liking the BJJ?
I love it. So, like, just to bring it all back, like, that's part of my therapy. I had to take a step back from all of this. I was like anxiety attacks every single day. And, I mean, it started years ago, right? And everybody deals with anxiety.
Of course, yeah.
Some people are, genetically predisposed to, like, have it a little more harsh, like, or the reaction is a little more
Acute.
Exactly. And, like, that's the thing. It's like it's your fight or flight response that kind of goes haywire. And that's what was happening. I would have, like, tightness in my chest. I still do. I have to deal with it. It's not like I've done counseling, I've been reading books, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Cool.
And then all of that has really helped. And then kind of getting my diet in order to cut out.
Drinking enough beer and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
It's not
drinking a
part
lot
of
of
it.
coffee.
yeah.
And coffee will just
Yep.
dials that, like,
Yeah.
are you going to have a panic attack? Have a cup of coffee. And like the likelihood.
So how much have you reduced your coffee?
I've gone from 2.5 cups a day, probably on the average, every morning, 2.5, maybe 3 cups if it's to 1 every 4 or 5 days.
Oh wow.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's a big. That's
So
a
are you gonna
big
try to
drop.
get down to 0? Is that the goal?
I've gone 0 for a while. What I've done is I've allowed myself to get back to 1
yeah.
because I enjoy it so much. Because
I
I
know,
don't
man.
I'm not a slave to coffee anymore like I was, but I love the process. I do a French press.
I know, man. The ritual is
Yes,
so fun.
and it smells so
Yeah.
good, and it tastes so good, and like I've got this new, like, so I got a French press, but then a friend of ours She's from her daughter and our daughter. They were on the same basketball team, and so we became friends. And that's one of the best part about having kids. I mean, kids are great, but like when you find their friends that have cool parents, right? We've got a handful of like friends now that
cool adults.
Cooler adults than you would otherwise be friends with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even like, okay, so our oldest daughter went to a middle school formal, 8th grade formal.
Yeah.
And the boy that asked her to go, we were like, well, we got to meet his family and all that kind of stuff. Yes. Turns out his parents are super cool.
And
don't
it's fall for that, man.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's going to be awkward for you guys when this middle school romance inevitably is y'all either fall back into friend mode or you're like, whatever. One of you guys is like, thinks somebody else is cute or whatever. We're still hanging out with his parents because they're super cool. So, like actually, my wife and the little boy's mom, I call him little boy because he's
little
great.
boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's nice. He's very
man.
respectful. He's like, he wants to go into the Air Force and all this stuff. I'm like, I believe it when I see it. Like, I don't trust him because I can't. I can't allow myself to get there. But
True.
That's good.
like, but he's super respectful. Like, he's
Don't fall for that.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
But
Just
he's
wait till it happens, and then
yeah. So anyway, but
All an act.
yeah, but it my wife and his mom, they went to a thing the other night, just like hanging out, like the two of us. We're gonna go see a thing, and they went to do a thing. So it was.
So what about your French press though?
Oh, okay, yeah. So our another friend who played basketball with my daughter, they're from Mexico, and when they make coffee, she'll put a cinnamon stick and boil the water, and it infuses the water with cinnamon. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I did it, and then did it with my French press. Use that water for my French press. Just infuses that flavor with the cut of cinnamon. I was like, oh, well, I'll put a couple cloves in there too. And it's like, oh, that's a little slice of heaven every single time I have a cup.
It up.
Yeah.
And this was recent?
Yeah, just a few weeks ago I started doing it, and I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'm 5 cloves. I think is the perfect. You don't want to over clove.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's
Yeah,
like
it's a spice.
you don't want to start going, 2 and 3 cups a day again.
No. But that's like my 1 cup every few days.
Gotcha.
So, and then I've also started taking like L-theanine with it, which is an amino acid that kind of helps cool it off, which actually helps suppress anxiety as well. So that's another thing that's helped.
Taking magnesium?
Oh yeah, I take C, D,
Milk.
You meant all the Joe Rogan
yeah,
recommendations?
basically, yeah. The only thing I'm not taking now that I was taking is choline and inositol, which helps your liver, which I think anybody that's in the brewing industry that drinks beer every day should probably take.
Yeah.
But it also makes you have really soft skin. It's really nice.
Cool.
Oh.
But it's like a liver cleanse. Like bodybuilders would take it after a cycle of steroids. It's so good. Like,
Yeah.
choline and inositol. They're B vitamin and the B vitamin
Cool.
deal. But yeah, I take B12.
So you got your diet. You're changing your diet up.
Yeah.
And you're like, are
Coffee.
you doing any meditation?
Well, just like prayer and stuff in the morning, quiet time, that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Starting my day out that way has helped tremendously. Counseling, I have a great Kevin. He has a practice here in the Heights, and it's man, that guy's been awesome. To get counseling, like somebody just to kind of help you work through everything, there is no shame in it whatsoever. If anybody ever thinks that or considers it, to have somebody just to be in your corner and say, like, the one thing I've learned from him, anxiety is a learned behavior. And so that means you can unlearn it. You can do other things. So like the main things are like you're over catastrophizing things, like, oh, if this happens, I'm going to die. Or, oh, my chest is all tight. I'm having a heart. My heart's going to explode. I'm going to die.
Right. That's you.
That's me. That's me
Yeah.
telling that's not really what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly healthy. But, man, we got
I guess. Yeah.
a crew in here.
Big crew in here.
That's awesome.
Family time.
Yeah, it is. And so, anyway, that's been working through all that, like realizing what my inner dialogue is.
Have you heard? You're a Rogan guy, so I'm sure you hear a lot of he talks a lot about psychedelics.
I'm not.
When are you gonna?
I'm not. I won't. I don't see I'm a little bit of a
Square.
There's that, but I'm a little hypochondriac as well.
Yeah.
So like even when
You think you would like if you actually that might trigger anxiety?
absolutely,
Yeah.
because like for that's why I've earned my coffee back. I went cold turkey on coffee for weeks, and then like I had a cup, and then like we went to church or something. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a bad idea.
Oh,
how bad of it, Josh?
Beating
Why were you
yourself
so?
up
Yes,
over it.
and then like I feel it, like I'm and there's this weird like whooshing
gonna
feeling.
die.
Yes, and I almost want to run out of the. I gotta run out of here. I gotta get out of here. And you want to run out of your skin. That's how bad it gets. Like but then you kind of figure, oh wait, it's caffeine. Hold on. I got a buzz here.
Yeah.
And it feels good when you figure out what it actually is, because caffeine's great. To an extent, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just with everything. And, so, no, I won't be doing, just knowing how I will react up here, I'd be running up the wall.
Yeah.
So,
just curious. Yeah.
No, if it does definitely, like I've seen the research where like it'll help cessation of smoking, like almost like it's like an 85-90% cessation rate when they do psilocybin to help cure addiction to nicotine or whatever.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's there's definitely benefits, and then PTSD and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's some like they need to research it more and more, but I'm not gonna play around with it. So,
gotcha. It is so interesting though. Like the how powerful that is and how many people it can help. Yet we have suppressed it.
Yeah,
so hard. I mean,
that book I was talking about, Drunk, he talks about that as well, like how to tap down your prefrontal cortex. Societies that don't have alcohol usually have psychedelics somewhere in their ritual. Mm-hmm. So there's always something that they go to. Mm-hmm. And there's something to it. But like beer is a very controlled, very approachable way for that. Yep. For all the benefits to mitigate the potential like.
Yep, and it's one where you most beers anyway, it doesn't sneak up on you. Like what you're how you're. It's not like you're gonna drink this beer right here and all of a sudden
flip
be on
out
the floor. Or flipping out.
Maybe after the third one.
And most of our beers, like right now, all our beers are in the 5 to 6. Like I'm looking on the board, actually, it's pretty remarkable. 4.7 to 6.6. That's where all our beers.
Yeah,
fall.
and that's super like
that's my range.
Yeah, that's where I am too.
Perfect.
I like to stay in that range. Every once in a while I like to go like, all right, let's get some barrel aged, some kind of, and just sip on this, and
that's
a treat.
Yeah, I like it at night. I like it when it's kind of cold out or special occasion.
Oh yeah, man, I love like St. Arnold Christmas Ale. You know, when it's cold out.
Yes, or some sort of.
That's in the high 6s, I think. Maybe it's 7.
Yeah, I think it's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I like that time of year. There's a warming effect to it or something, I guess. But I'm guilty of just checking out people's beer. Like, what is he drinking?
Which one was that? Was that the lager?
No, that's a dark. What's he got? What do you got? This dark.
The Moon.
Which one are y'all looking at?
Whatever he just walked by with.
Yeah. So that's Bohemian Moonlight.
Yeah,
it's
the Moonlight.
a Czech dark lager. You want that next?
Definitely.
You guys want?
Oh, it's only 5.7. Yeah, see, that's even better. So much flavor, but
yeah,
we can do that next.
All right.
But
I'll get them queued up. Well, I'm gonna wait for this line to go.
How?
Yeah, no.
Kate, what's that timer say? How long we've been potting? See, now that I don't have it right here at my fingertips, I'm not even. I mean, I've got time. 103. Do we want to do like an exclusive Patreon like session with that beer?
With that, yeah, that'd be.
You want to do that? Mm-hmm. Are you ready? Does she know? No, don't hit the pause button. Not yet. We got to do the outro. We're doing the outro, then we're going to come back and do. Yeah, he's got a thing.
She's giving me a look like I don't know any. I don't know.
So
I'm
this
not
is
touching any of those.
Hold on, wait. He's going to try to explain it. I'm going to have to edit this.
Oh dear.
It's the first time I've ever let him control that part of the show.
And now she's trying to get away from it.
My 112302. I'll have to bleep that because that's my password for everything.
And it's gone.
112302. That's my anniversary. It's when my wife and I were married.
That's a good one, man. The hackers will never find that one.
No. Yeah, don't ask me what my pets' names are. Are you having problems with it? He's having problems with it.
I'll let you guys do that. I'm gonna go get some beers.
Okay. Here, hand that. I'm gonna keep talking into this microphone. You can even unplug it and hand it to me, and then we'll come back to it. As John goes to get our beer, and we're going to do a Patreon only. This is where I talk about the exclusive content coming your way. As soon as John brings back the what are we getting? The Bohemian Moonlight, a Czech dark lager. We're going to get deep into that beer. Are you taking this, Perry? You've taken this camera, right? Am I full here? Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Kate. I'm so glad you're here. But we're gonna. Have you had a beer? We gotta get Kate a beer. Anyway, we're gonna get deep into that. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we're gonna do some Patreon exclusive, supporter exclusive content. Thank you for the long wait, and thank you for being patient for us to get back for InterBrews. So for Kathryn, who left to pick up the kids, and for John, who went to get us a refill, and for Kate, who's been awesome out there taking pictures, and Henry, who's just keeping it just keeping it real over there. TD Mike, excellent job today. Producer Perry, how's that fitting over there? Is that feeling good? You look good doing it. Doing good. Perry's been hitting the gym, the shake weight. He's been getting it. He's looking good. All right, so for everybody involved, my name is Josh. Thanks for sticking around and being a part. This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Hit fade to black.